And here we go again, another week, another puzzle. Citing sources from the KTANE Puzzle Plethora. Welcome to Timwe Presents, where I'm going to take a look at this puzzle, and I'm going in blind. I have not seen it at all yet. As before, we have the answer code from the author, which I can use in my check answer tool to make sure that the answer still isn't chicken. And here we go. Let's take a look at citing sources. Ooh, okay, so we have quite a few modules here, and then it says t dot 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 I, and this is a single ellipsis character, not three separate dots. That is interesting. Okay, citing sources. Oh, I see, sources, right, all of these here are Timwe modules except for this one, and this, wait, hang on, no. Not all of them are Timwe modules. This could be a task thing. Alright, let's take a look at the list of authors. You know what? I'm just going to, how about this? I'm just going to take the entire list of information about all of the modules. Let's scroll all the way to the bottom, copy all of this, and take all of the author names. So first of all, let's uniqueify this. Let's get rid of all of the Twitch play scores, all of the publication dates. Let's go there, all of these scores. These are the authors that are, you know, listed. I see. It says U when it's like, you know, a souvenir. U means unassigned, unexamined. Charlie means it didn't find the, it's because match case is on, and regular expression, there you go. Alright, so we can get rid of that one. Alright, so these are all of the authors. Now obviously the commas should all be new lines, and then I can uniqueify this again. So now we have a list of all of the authors, which means, let's see if there is anyone else other than Timwe that starts with T and ends with I. There is not. So I'm willing to bet that we are supposed to look at which ones of these are Timwe modules. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this one is, these both are. That is X-ray. Let's see, adjacent letters. And then we have gridlock. What is this? I think this is regular crazy talk. It's a little hard to tell from the icon sometimes, because I didn't make those icons. Ooh, I need to check whether this is vari-colored squares. No, it has a single red, so it's colored squares. Okay, so this would be Kudo, Sudoku, and Tic-Tac-Toe. So if I read this as Braille, let's see if that gives me anything sensible. The first bit is already not looking like a character. WH, and then we have this contraption. Okay, I'm starting to think, oh wait, actually that could work. I was gonna say I'm starting to think that maybe these are inverted, that maybe I'm supposed to look at the ones that are not Timwe modules and see if that gives me a valid Braille. So as far as I can tell, this one is not a Braille character. At least I can't see it, I can't find it. I might be missing it. So I'm going to try the inverse, in which case the first character is an S, and then the second character is GH. Alright, that looks less promising. And then we have an, wait a second, it is a WH again. Wow, I found it the first time and then didn't notice that the third one is exactly the same. Now this is OW, I'm pretty sure, yes. Okay, that does not look like an English word, unfortunately. Of course, it's possible that I might have done this wrong. So let me just very quickly check these. I don't know what this is. It's definitely not one of my modules. That's X-ray. Yellow cipher is probably not. Oh, maybe we're supposed to look at the first letters of each of the modules that are not or that are. Well, let's just keep going. It's very suspicious that it's 3 rows and an even number of columns. So RH, I'm willing to bet, is Royal Flush, but let's see if we can find anyone else. Royal Flush is the only one. Okay, So that first one, I don't know, so I'm gonna put a question mark. That next one, I think that is something with RGB in the name. I do not believe that that is Royal Flush. Oh, it does not have RGB in the name. So I guess I'm gonna go Royal Flush like this, and then get a list of them, and then see if that RGB looking thing is anywhere in this list. Whew. You know, it's unlikely because Royal Flush's modules tend to have some, differing colors. Given that this one looks very much like a, standard background, I don't think it's that. So what about the, okay, there are only 3 needies. Aha, that is Needy Mrs. Bob. So the first one is, in fact, a Royal Flush module. So this is guitar chords, this is algebra, Elder Futhark, Simon Says, Westeros, and what is this? I think this is, well, I don't think it's Royal Flush. Let's take a look at the, I hope I didn't mess up here. Yep, regular modules, okay. So what were we looking for? We're looking for that, with a purple thing in the middle that has 2 numbers. Yeah, I think, honestly, now that I think about it, I think it's time signatures or something. But anyway, either way, it doesn't seem to be a Royal Flush module. That I don't recognize, but if that is Royal Flush, it must be very recent, because I've definitely never seen that. Yeah, I don't think that's Royal Flush. Then, of course, we have Quintuples, which is Royal Flush. That one I don't recognize. 7 Wires, Turtle Robot, Maintenance, Skyrim, Encrypted, whatever, I can't remember what it was called. Memorable Buttons, that's what it was called. This is a SamFun module. Free Parking. What was the word? Identity Parade, thank you. Red Arrows, European Travel, Simon Screams, Lightspeed, and Resistors. So if I read that, once again it's WH, and then we have, that is a P. No, it is not. It is M. That is very strange. And this looks like EN. No, it's IN. It's that way around, and then an R. Yeah, it's clearly not just straight up Braille, and it's also not inverted Braille, because with inverted Braille I have the same issue that I had last time. Right, the first part would be an S, and then here, oh, it's actually a different problem, but we would have this sort of weird arrangement, which doesn't exist. Okay, so it might not be Braille. So let's see if I can, okay, so far we've always had WH at the start, so I think I'm gonna continue with this. Let's see, I think this is task thing, but I'm gonna just quickly check. Okay, TW Gaming also fits that bill. So let's see what TW Gaming modules there are. Let's see if any of them are there. Abstract Sequences is this sort of tan colored, we don't have that. Then we have this, aha! That one, Alliances, is actually there. And then we have Extended Password is not there. Okay, so for now, I'm going to mark this with an @ sign, and then I'm going to try and identify the tasking modules. Not that, yes that, not that, not that. What is this? Is this the sphere? In which case that would be... No, it's not the sphere. Is it the void or something? Or the Kugelblitz? No. Alright, which one of them is completely black? Well, why don't we just check if any of tasting's modules fit the bill. Semimorse is also not completely black, so that's not a tasking module. Then we have code names, boxing. I do not recognize that cyan colored one, but it is not a tasking module. Alright, let's move on to the next row. This would be, I think that's Quirkle. I'm suddenly not sure if Quirkle has, yeah, it does have credit by tasking, so I guess that counts. Scavenger hunt. This is a needy. Let's look at just the needies. Oh, no needies at all. I was pretty. Oh, I accidentally turned off mods. Okay, so is one of the needies like that. No, apparently not. So it's not that. Bamboozling button grid is definitely not task thing. This is insanograms. Then we have that needy with arrows. That is also not by task thing. Then we have N and M's. Ice cream. Does ice cream have? I don't think it does. Ah, sorry. Right, ice cream. I don't think. So, okay, needies and regular modules. There we go. Ice cream does not have. Yeah, why would it? It's much older than when testing joined. So let's see. We have widow shins. We have another needy. So let's go back to the list of needies. There we go. What does it look like? Like this. Yeah, that's Marco Polo. So that is a testing module. I don't know what that thing with the scroll is, but it's not testing. That looks like symbolic Tasha, I think. So let's take a look at this and sort them by names, I guess. Symbolic Tasha, it is symbolic Tasha. And not Tasha Squeals, which would not be a... okay, so this one, I think that was Bob Barks. Let's see, Bob Barks, yep, and there is no testing credit on that. Object shows, and then a Simon module, which I don't think has testing made any Simon modules. Simon stashes, which is a needy, but not this one. Okay. Alright, I am kind of curious now to find out what this Simon module is, because I've never seen it before. Okay, it might not even be a Simon module. Okay, whatever. Alright, so that would give us W. Oh, and then we have just the bottom left. This is definitely not Braille. At least I don't think it is. Yeah. So I think the Braille theory is definitely out of the question. Now let's see who TN is. The third man. Okay. Let's see. The third man has not made that first one. This is Old Fogey. Yep, that is a yes. So let's write that down. Then we have, I'm gonna assume that is Indigo Cipher, so that's a no. And that looks like Bomb Diffusal, which is a yes. Constellations, that is also a yes. Lights Out is a no. Left and Right is no. What is this? The Deck of Many Things or something like that? No, it's Heraldry. Aha. Heraldry. Then we have Extended Password, that's a no. I think this is Raiding Temples. Yes, it is Raiding Temples. Lego Encrypted Morse. That is not there. Forget Them All. Any Forget... Yes, that is a third man module. Then we have 2-bits, Lucky Dice. Oh, I should probably check Lucky Dice. Yes, it is. The third man. What is this? I don't recognize that at all. But let's just see if it is by the third man. Yes, oh, it's But Too Big. I should have realized that. It just doesn't look like the module when you see the small icon. Let's see, this looks like Maze Cubed. Yep, Maze Cubed is right here. Turn the key. Then we have Treasure Hunt, which is also the third man. I don't recognize this one. Could this be... let's just find it in the list. If it is here, I will find out what it is. If it isn't, no, I don't think it's in that list. So that's a no. Then we have the 7 Deadly Sins. That is a yes. Robot Programming. That is a no. I think this is Double Expert or something. Yep, that is a yes. And then we have Shell Game, which is definitely a task module. Okay. So, clearly it's not Braille, although it looks surprisingly much like Braille. Let's take a look at this one. That is AR, and then ST, and then L, and then T. That is so close to being something, and yet it's not something. Okay, let's see if there is... there's no flavor text. Alright, let's take a look if there's any hint in the source, but I doubt it. There is not. Okay. Okay, so my next theory was to look at the first letter of the modules, of all of the modules. Can I, let's see, okay, at least that much is helpful. It has the actual names of the modules right here. So I guess I can do this. Let's reduce the font size a little. Let's remove all these TR tags. I probably should have kept the, yeah, whatever. I know that each author here has exactly 8 by 3, which is 24. So every 24 is right. Anyway, so we have this, and then we have this. Okay. So, oh yeah, let's also remove the .png everywhere. Okay. So these are the names of the modules in order. Now let's take a look at the TimWe module. So light cycle definitely is 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is tic-tac-toe the last one? Yes, it is. Okay. So the ones that are TimWe modules are this one, maritime flags, tennis, X-ray, adjacent letters, black hole, gridlock, regular crazy talk, odd one out, colored squares, Kudo Sudoku, and tic-tac-toe. So the apply the adjacent letters rules. Okay. Okay. Apply the, yeah, I'm willing to bet. So okay, I'm going to look at the rest just to make sure whether it says apply them to the ones that match or the ones that don't match. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4. Does it end in resistors? Yes, it does. I should have just checked that. Okay, so I indented the ones that do match, so let's indent these. Okay, so I can be pretty sure at this point that it's not going to be Braille at all. So we have these, and then we have free parking, identity parade, European Trail Lightspeed, adjacent letters, rules, presumably. All right, so the next group ends with the one after object shows. Rainbow arrows, that's what it was called. Okay. So let's see. These are the ones that I identified, and those would be that. And then we have 3, right, so quote names. This is the task group, so not quite sure about this one though. Let's see. This one is alliances. So I'm just gonna do this and see what happens. Widdershins, Marco Polo, symbolic task object shows. So we get yeah, rules. Obit an oh, bamboozling button grid. Oh, I see. Wait, I indented all of the ones that do match. So we have a run of 4, and then the one that I'm not sure about. Okay, I'm gonna do the last group to see if the whole thing gives me something sensible. So this is the third man. Right, let's go. Old Fogey, Bomb Diffusal, let's see, that, and then that, Maze Cubed, Treasure Hunt, and all of these. Okay, so we have letters. Braille. Ah. Okay, so it is Braille. Let's see. Apply the adjacent letters rules. Obtain in Sanagrams. I might have made a mistake here. In Sanagrams, right, okay, so obtain, in which case alliances is in, obtain Braille letters. So apply the adjacent letters rules, and then we will be able to read Braille. So here's how I'm going to do this. First, I'm going to take a copy of this entire file. Let's keep this. No, let's remove this. Right. So this is the first bunch. Let's do just the first bunch. So let's use only the first letters and put them. Oh, wait. They are 2, 4, 6, 8. It's 8 in a row, even though it's 4 normally on the adjacent letters module. But, right. Oof, this is going to be a lot of work, but let's do it regardless. Adjacent letters, here we go. Alright. So, first of all, let's put spaces in front of every letter so I can mark the right ones. Okay. So, L. A and Y, that's a no, and then A, L, P, and then an A, that's a no. P, A, M. Okay, I'm starting to think that maybe I should do this in code. That would probably go faster. I think I'm going to do this in code. It will also be more fun that way. So, let's actually just, well, first of all, let me obtain the other grids. So, let's first unindent everything. Why is resistors like this? But it was the last one in the group, so that's fine, I guess. And then we have all of this. Alright, let's do this. Let's remove everything but the first letter. Let's do something like this, and then remove all the spaces. And now do this, and now we have these groups. And now we want sets of 8 at a time. Put a new line after those. Okay, and those are the second, third, and fourth block. And this one here is, of course, the first block. There we go. And now I suppose I can once again do this and replace that. So var blocks is equal to, so we have that entire string, and we're going to split that at the hashtags which I inserted in between. And now for each block in blocks, so each of these blocks is going to be treated as an 8x3. I should probably write that down so I don't forget. Alright, now let's actually open the adjacent letters module source code, which not only has the grid in it, but also the actual code that checks the rules. Okay, this is the Russian version of adjacent letters. Here is the actual, there you go. These are the left and right arrays. Left, right, and up, down, rather. And then here, this is the bingo. And then we get a Boolean array. Awesome. Okay. So I'm gonna have to make sure that the grid size is the correct. So the expectation for us is actually 8 times 3, which would be 24. So we go all of these var. So let's see. This would then be rows of 8. And then of course the highest x value would be 7. So if that is the case, yeah, here is another one. That 4 should be an 8, and that 4 should be an 8. The rest looks fine to me. Now what about this letters thing? We have the left, right, and oh yeah, of course, letters is going to be, well, it's literally block, isn't it? So I guess I can just change all occurrences of letters to block. There we go, and then this sets the expectations, and now I can for each row of which there are 3, I'm going to output a range of characters. The range is from 0 to 8, and for each index in that, if the expectation at 8 times the row plus index is if that is the case, then we're going to output a block. Otherwise, we're going to output something slightly less thick. Now I'm going to put 2 of those so that it's more square-like. Let's join string these up, and let's see what I get. Okay. I hope that I got everything right. I hope that I didn't make a mistake. Okay, I'm getting a build failure. Let's see. Ooh. Okay, this is because of something else that I'm working on, so I quickly have to remove that here from the project. And now, of course, this is not going to compile because something else in this project uses that. Come on, guys. I just want to run this code. Let me run my... Finally. Okay, here we go. Now, that still doesn't look like Braille. Oh, that is really frustrating. That is not valid Braille at all. I mean, if I invert it... yeah, so this would be a Q, a Quebec in Braille, here. Right, but if I invert it, it would be just the bottom right dot, which doesn't exist, and yeah, this one here also doesn't exist, I don't think. Yeah, the two bottom dots, yeah, that just doesn't exist, at least not as a letter. I'm sure that it's a punctuation mark or something in Braille, but I don't think the puzzle would depend on that. Okay, so did I make a mistake? Let's see. Maybe. Okay, so let me think. We've obtained which of these are matching, you know, which ones of them match the author, and that gives us the hint: apply the adjacent letters rules, obtain Braille letters. Okay, and then I did that. Now maybe I'm supposed to do that only to the letters that didn't match? I don't know. No, I find that unlikely. Yeah, it wouldn't form valid Braille if we filtered out some of them. So I must have made a mistake somewhere. Let me just very quickly verify that this is indeed the first block. LAPMTPLX, that seems to match. YAT BHGRE, that seems to match, and then AOC DJKAT, that also seems to match. Okay, so at the very least the first block should be fine, but it isn't. Right, this is the first block. Is that the same as here? Yes, it is. Alright, so to obtain Braille letters from this, I don't know how to obtain Braille letters from this. Like, are some of them inverted and some of them not? Like, what would that first letter be if it were inverted? It would be ED. That's also not likely. So ED and then a Q. No. Okay, let's see if I made a mistake in here. So we have our expectation array, which has the right length. We go through all of these. We find the x and the y coordinate. If the x coordinate is not on the left edge and the left-right rules contain... Ooh, why does it... Oh, I see. I minus 1 means the one on the left. That's right. Or we are not on the far right edge and the left-right rules contain the one on the right. This is correct, and then similarly here we have plus 8 and minus 8 and 3 rows. I think the code here is correct. After all, I copied it from the original module and only needed to change the 4s to 8s. Is this correct? 8 times row, yes, that is correct. Every row has 8 characters in it. Okay. Now I'm afraid I don't see my mistake. I don't think the code is wrong. So let me just run this and put this in a notepad. So this is the result that we have. I guess I can put that here. And I guess I can make this a little bit more readable. Okay. So we're supposed to obtain Braille letters from this. Okay, here's another idea. So we know the set of modules that belong or don't belong, as in that match or don't match a person, a modder. So we could, in theory, filter them out, or was the word XOR them. So here's what I'm going to do. Every line here that starts with a space, I'm going to put some other character, like, I don't know, let's say colon, for example. Alright, and now if I copy and paste this entire column and remove all the spaces, I now have, let's call it filter, I guess. And let's apply that filter only to the first block. Alright, so var first equals true, and then at the end of the first one, first equals false. So if first, for each of the characters in here, if the filter at this point is equal to the colon, then let's see what happens if we just set expectation to false. That does not give us valid Braille. I'm only looking at the first block here because that's the only one I've modified. If I set all of them to true, which is the same as OR, as obviously not Braille because there's just too many blocks there, that would give us so this was ED and then Q and then another ED, and then no, this is definitely not fine. So why don't we invert them like this? Okay, so does that give us valid Braille? Oh, that looks much more like valid Braille. So now the first row says uniform. So that's a uniform and then a bravo. And then this is an O. I think that's an O. Yep, that is an O. And then that's an X, U-box. Alright, let's pursue this. I don't know if U-box is the intended answer, but we can continue this same scheme and just so this would be our second filter. So let's do that. Let's get rid of that, and then we have our third filter, which would be that. I have so many tabs open now. Okay, so this is the third filter. And then we have the last filter, which is this one. Okay. And by the way, now you can read the message here. Apply the adjacent letters. Ooh, the R from rules is missing, and there is an extra H. And then it says obtain Braille letters. Okay, so I might have made a mistake in copying this, so I should make sure that I got everything right. Adjacent letters. Ah, I see. Resistors should have been. Wait a second. Resistors is not a Royal Flush module, so that should have been an R. But there is light speed. Let me count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, okay, so I just lost one character. And then this one starts with U, and then we have L. Now, hyper needy. This is the third block. So let's look at hyper needy on the repo, and that is by task thing. So task thing that should be in. So why? Oh, right. That okay. The ones that do match, I was supposed to indent. So that means that should be a colon, and then obtain Braille letters is correct. So now we split this at the hashes, and we remove this, and now we can use filter. Okay, we need the index. All right, let's turn this into a J, turn this into a for loop, call that I. We can't call that I because that is called I, whatever, let's call it block index. There you go, that's most readable. So now we use block index here and run this. Oops, we don't need that anymore. Now let's run this. Oh, that does not give us valid Braille for the second. Or maybe it does? No, it doesn't. So that would be a single you know, this piece here would be a single bottom right dot. That is definitely not valid Braille. So this theory is also wrong. It says apply adjacent letters rules, obtain Braille letters. I did apply the adjacent letters rules like this, and I got this, and these are not Braille letters. Okay, let's take a look at what I can make out of the rest, because right, I can get rid of this, and I can get rid of this. So in the first block, I get IN, Q, and then something that isn't anything, and then L. Let's see if the other blocks give me something. We have 156 here, which is WH again, and we've seen that plenty. Then we have an X that is not looking promising. Oof, and then we have that block down there, it's a GG. GG puzzle, GG. We definitely do not have a line of dots on the right hand side, because that would be confusable with L. So that's definitely not valid Braille right here. And then we have this, that is once again a Q, and then we have CH, I believe is what this is. Yep, that is CH. Yeah, that is not giving us anything. And then we have that, then we have M, OF, and that would be J. That is what I get from the Braille letters, from the adjacent letters rules. Okay, since I'm out of ideas, I've tried the thing with the filter. I've tried, you know, just adjacent letters straight up. And so at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the author if the Braille patterns that I got are correct. And that there is a chance that the author might not want to respond, because that would constitute a hint, and they will only give hints 24 hours after publication, but we'll see. So I will see you back in a bit. Okay, and here we are back, and the author's response was, you seem to have skipped a step. And obviously I don't know what the step is that I skipped, but I have a suspicion. Because if I look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the first 8 seem to have exactly 4 matching modules, or modules that are part of the message of apply the thingies. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that seems to be exactly 4. So I think that we are supposed to remove those and use only, because if we take all the remaining ones, we end up getting exactly 4 by 3, which is what you get on the adjacent letters module. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to remove these. Yeah, let's do these like that. Okay, and we want to look at the first letter. So first of all, we want to get rid of all of the lines that start with a colon, right? And then remove all the extraneous new lines. And then we want just the first letter of these modules. Okay, so I'm going to just do this. And now instead of putting the hash symbols in the right places manually, I'm just going to split this into groups of 4 times 3, which is 12. And that will give me, that gives me an IEnumerable string, so let's make that an array. Okay, and then the filter thing can go away, because we probably don't need that anymore. And now all of these are 4 again instead of 8. 4, 4, that should be a 3, that should be a 4, and that should be a 4. And that should be a 4. Whoops. And now we can get rid of this misleading comment and then just run this. Okay, I made a mistake, right, because each row has 4 elements in it. And now we get this. Okay, so let's see if we can get Braille from this. We get, this is looking very much like Braille now. Let's see. Let's just put that down here, I guess. There you go. Okay, so the first character is a D, then we have E, then we have T, O, detonato. Let's use our answer checker, and that is not the right answer. Whoops. Oh, it's it's detonate. That is the right answer. And ladies and gentlemen, we've solved the puzzle Citing Sources from the KTANE Puzzle Plethora. Thank you very much for watching, and see you again next time here at Timway Presents.